Right, welcome back. So now we're going to pull the front screen out, and one of the things that you start with these little stainless steel clips that cover the joins of the polished aluminium inserts. So these are not chrome, they're aluminium, they're quite soft. What you've got to do is you just got to be careful that you don't scratch them up. So you push that to one side, and then what we'll do is we'll start to work this loose all along this edge here, and we'll start to cut into it with a razor so that we start to loosen up the T-section that hooks into this outside seal. And I'll just show you the T-section here on the bench from the ones that we took out on the rear. So as I mentioned, these are very lightweight, very easy to bend. They're quite expensive to replace, so take it easy with them and watch that you don't scratch them up. You can see the profile there of the T-section. This little hook area here is what provides some tension in the rubber in the seal, and then stops it from popping out. So some people try and push the windscreens out completely with these in, and they wonder why they end up cracking their windshields. The other thing too is they try and reef them out and bend them out by grabbing hold of the aluminium strip itself and then trying to bend it up by grabbing it like this and then pulling straight out. Now if you do that, you're going to put bends, or even worse, put a kink in this, and once you've done that, there's no coming back. So what you need to do is work your way along the length of this, slowly pulling it out and cutting with the razor knife into this area here so that you start to free up that little T section that I showed you earlier in the rubber. Once you've done that, this will start to loosen up and come out nice and easily. Once you pull this straight out, then what happens is you're left with the bare rubber against the windshield, and you can actually cut that out against the actual glass itself. And once that's free, the glass is similar to the rear windscreen I showed you before. It's actually sitting on top of the rubber, and you can just lift it straight out, and the remaining rubber just peels out very easily. So don't risk your windshield, just take your time, do it really slowly, be very careful with it, protect everything, and you should have your windscreen out nice and easy. You don't have to sit inside, have someone there with their feet against the windscreen pushing it out. These things come out nice and easy if you do it right. Okay, back to pulling the aluminium stripping out of the Alpha windscreen. One of the things, as you pull it out, like I was saying, you've got to watch that you don't bend these, don't pull it straight up. You'll find that as you get into the corners, there's a little bit of tension there, but it starts to pop out. And you can already see there's a little bit of a bend in the aluminium there, but that'll straighten out, that's nothing too much. Now once you get to the top here, on the straight edge, you don't have to keep reefing it out. So you can just slide it straight out of the channel. So you just have to pull it towards yourself and pull it straight out. That saves a whole heap of grief. So there's a little trick that helps you in that final section on the top part of removing the windscreen. Okay, so the glass has been freed up. We've taken the aluminium stripping out, and as you can see, we've cut away all the external rubber that holds the windscreen in. So in essence, the windscreen, like the rear one, is just sitting on top of the existing seal. This is the original seal in the car by the looks of things. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll gently lift it out now, push it out, should just lift straight out. And we'll take that, and what we'll do is we'll remove that, and then I'll show you the actual seal coming out. Right, so if you want to take that, Terry. Thank you. We'll go and set that down. Now what you're left with is the seal inside the car, but in the past it's been a bit of a pain to get these out. So now what happens is, because we've taken the stripping out, you can just peel this straight off. As you can see, the condition of this rubber is quite poor. And what we're left with, once again, a nice clean surface. Really interesting to see. Some original sealant put in there. No rust. Once again, these cars tend to rust in these areas where water sits, especially when they've been parked outside. All the discussion about Alphas rusting and the jokes that are made about them over the years, I find quite amusing, because they're actually not rust buckets. It's like any car that you have anywhere in the world. If you leave it outside and it stays wet, water accumulates in all the areas and rust is going to occur. It doesn't matter what sort of vehicle it is.